Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Hong Ayo, and my presentation topic is From Idealism to Professionalism, the journey of self-correction in PFS education. Today, I'm very excited to share my journey of creating my university e-portfolio with you all. As EDU students, I believe most of us have just survived from our law practice, and we walk into those schools with head of full of theories, but sometimes thank you. But sometimes the reality is just a really big shock. Today, I don't just want to tell you what I did during my law practice. I also want to share the story of how building this e-portfolio helped me completely change my mindset. Before my teaching journey actually started, I had a very simple and almost traditional mindset about teaching. Growing up in a Hong Kong exam-orientated system, I naturally thought a teacher's only job was to help students get a higher grade. And to me, PSE were everything. I believe that academic performance was the ultimate destination. If my students get a higher grade, then I was a successful teacher. If they failed, then I failed. But over the past few years, especially studying here and going to my first law practice and also the second one, my mind was completely changed. This experience shattered my own mindset. And now let me show you how creating this e-portfolio document this professional identity shift. Well, we'll first look at my starting points. Back in year 1 to year 3, I saw myself strictly as a knowledge deliverer. I learned different teaching theories like constructivism and inquiry-based learning. I spent hours and hours using creative thinking to design what I thought is a perfect lesson. And I had this idealistic assumptions that I truly believed that if my teaching materials were perfect and my business concepts are correct, the class would automatically be successful. I thought students would just sit here and just listen to me and just learn. I was only focusing on my performance on the stage, but not their feelings in their class. When I started making this e-portfolio, I had a choice. I could just write a descriptive diary saying that I've taught this lesson today and they learned well. But I knew that it wouldn't be a good reflection. My goal was to transform my portfolio from a descriptive diary to a critical analysis. To do this, I do a 3-step framework. First, self-awareness. I needed to be honest and admit my own teaching mistakes. Second, peer interaction. This was crucial because during my discussion with my classmates, I've heard different perspectives from others, and it was a wake-up call. They asked questions that challenged my perspective and my basic assumptions, which helped me see my blind spot that I couldn't see myself. And at last, critical thinking. I forced myself to stop asking what went wrong and really dig deep to ask, why did it went wrong? And let me share a very brief experience from my law practice. I spent hours preparing what I thought was a masterclass in accounting, and I walked into the classroom ready to deliver complex business knowledge and difficult theories. I was so confident, but when I started teaching, it was a disaster. The students gave me blank stares, and some of them even put their heads on the desk. They were not listening at all. And classroom management was impossible. My first reaction was just to complain. And in my early notes, I blamed the students. I thought they are just lazy and they just don't care about their results. It was not my problem. But during the reflection process, I look back at that experience and I finally realized I was the problem. I lacked awareness and I was forcing high level of concepts into teenagers without considering and thinking about their actual foundation. I was teaching a perfect lesson to an imaginary class, but not the real students in front of me. And honestly, it's hard to admit my perfect teaching style is actually terrible. But this was a major turning point for me. Through talking with my peers and reflecting on my failure, I learned a very painful but important lesson. A perfect lesson plan is totally useless if you don't have a good social interaction skills. Students don't feel connected to you, then they will not learn from you. I realized that empathy and human connection must come before academic rigor. Because of this, has completely changed the focus of my e-portfolio, and I didn't want to hide my failure anymore. I want to show the transition from a cold knowledge deliverer to an empathetic partner. With this brand new mindset, I went into my second block practice. And this, let me tell you that the atmosphere of this time block practice is completely different. I actually use different skills and I stopped using difficult words. Like, instead of just reading aloud the concept in the textbook, I use real life examples so that they feel connected to the situation and they will actually care about and they will learn the concept more easily. I also learned to slow down and give time for them to think about it. I've put these materials in the e-portfolio because they serve as a hard evidence and they prove that when you critically reflect on your mistakes and change your approach, it directly leads to a better teaching in the real classroom. And you can see that here's some picture of my second block practice, and I've developed a good relationship with students, and also after block practice, they have also write me some heartwarming notes. So after putting all these reflections together, what is the central message I want to carry out? Is that I finally understand that good grades are not the ultimate goal of education. They are just a normal byproduct when you provide a supportive and empathetic learning environment. More importantly, I learned that the theory practice gap. There's a huge difference between theories and a real life classroom. This is not a failure, and it's totally normal. In fact, this is the exactly place where we can learn how to survive and develop our professional skills. And looking forward, the journey of self-correction has helped me set up a clear action plan for my future. First, I think I will keep the habits of reflecting myself and writing a reflective journal, since I never want to lose this self-reflections, self-awareness. Second, I will always try to build relationship with my students before I've got to teach them, because real bonding leads to a better teaching. Finally, recognizing every student is different, and I plan to use more technology into my teaching so that I can take care of different students like SEN students, some students with more care. And my e-portfolio shows that ultimately shows what teacher I would like to be, which is a resilient BFS educator who teaches with empathy. And this is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. So thank you for the presentation given by Mr. Hong Yu. So any questions from audience? Okay, no. So it's still my turn. So you just complete 2 block practice, right? And then your future career plan is also about to be a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Besides, you mentioned that one one change is about at the very beginning you rate PPT and then or you rate some notes and then later on you can employ more concrete examples while teaching. So could you give more example regarding your transformation?
You mean like besides from?
Yeah, besides from reading to employing examples.
I think I might like outside the classroom or recess time, I will talk more to my students because I will know more about their personalities and so that I can deliver knowledge more effectively. And sometimes I will care about their maybe what they have done during the weekend, like so like creating a bonding between teachers and students so that even when we have a better relationship, we can conduct a more class more fluently and also in a better atmosphere, like students are enjoying more during the lessons.
Okay, so that is about build some rapport, good relationship with student. Thank you. Thank you. So remember to. Okay, so